It is being constructed to house 3 massive ships being built for the White Star Line. Titanic's construction begins with a series of pitch pine blocks laid on the slipway. These are stacked about 4 feet high with angled wedges on top. On these are laid the first steel plates which form the ship's hull and the vertical keel. Now we're travelling along the hull on your right towards the bow. Here you can see the steel ribs or frames that make up the skeleton of the ship. These are curved to give the hull its shape and positioned between 2 and 3 feet apart. Lowering them into place is a dangerous process until they've been firmly joined up by the horizontal girders called stringers, which lock them in position. Then the shell plates that make up the hull are riveted onto the outside. The ship's frames start out as straight bars. These are heated in a furnace, then hooked out onto slabs of cast iron, where they're hammered into shape against an iron mould. Titanic's plates are laid onto the hull in 2 ways. At the sides, the shell plates are alternately sunken and raised, while at the bottom of the hull they are fastened using the clinker method with overlapping plates. A rivet squad consists of 3 men and 2 boys. On one side of the plate, the heater boy heats the iron rivets on a portable hearth. Using tongs, he throws the rivet to the catch boy, who places it in the hole for the holder up, who holds the rivet head in place with the head of a holding up hand. Every plate had to be riveted in place, which was partially mechanised and partially done by hand by riveting squads. On the other side of the plate, 2 men work with smaller riveting hammers to fit the rivet tightly into a pre-punched hole, striking it in rapid succession. For the teams in the double bottom, the work of riveting can be very hard. The only light comes from candles. Stray pieces of hot metal often fly around, so riveters have to wear a muffler to protect their necks. Riveters are paid by the number of rivets they insert. The best teams use 1 left and 1 right-handed riveter. And with dozens of teams working, it's definitely intense. Above, we can see the steel decks being riveted in place. These are not intended to strengthen the ship, but they are rigid enough to resist the force of the hull being hit by high seas. They also arch slightly upwards, so that water falling onto them will drain overboard. At the stern of the ship, we pass over the massive castings that will support Titanic's rudder. These frames have to be enormously strong to withstand the force of the rudder turning in heavy seas. Nearly launch day. Titanic's enormous weight will soon be transferred from the supporting blocks to the launchways that will slide with the ship into the sea. The launchways have been greased with an inch of tallow and oil. Workmen will shortly risk serious injury by knocking away vertical wooden props under compression beneath the hull. At the moment of launch, the sliding ways will be released by hydraulic rams. It's the evening of the 30th of May, 1911. Tomorrow, Harland and Wolff will launch Titanic, the heaviest object ever moved by man. Up to 100,000 people will gather on the banks of the River Lagan to watch. The Arl gantry has been decked out with signal flags spelling good luck, and tonight the whole city is celebrating the pride of Belfast.